And we are recording. All right. How's it going, everybody? It's Monday, and Monday brings about Monday Rant Lore Times, where we're going to talk about World of Warcraft.
Wait, that's
lore.
what the series name is going to be
The channel is mandatory fun.
No, but Lore Rant Time?
Whatever, dude. I don't fucking know. It's episode 2. We can call it fucking Happy Tickle Time. Nobody cares. Happy Tickle Time. Mondays. From now on. Boom. Happy Tickle Time. Don't you fucking finger me. I'm waiting for Nathan. Anyway, so today, our lore topic is going to be the Alliance. And most specifically, that the Alliance is dead. Nathan.
Yes.
What do you think I'm talking about? Why am I saying the Alliance is dead? Get that cat out of here. God. I'm working in a sea of amateurs. Got cats, dogs, living together, mass hysteria.
Okay, it's because the fact that the Alliance that we know today isn't the Alliance from when the series started, from Warcraft 2 and...
That is correct. So, what we know as today as the Alliance is something that's a kind of a ridiculous, nonsensical thing. That's not even a thing. It's a non-thing. It's whatever. So basically, if you don't know, Warcraft 1, it was the orcs versus the humans of Stormwind. Stormwind gets fucking leveled. Gets wrecked. God, no more. So the refugees from Stormwind, along with the little Prince Varied Wind, the Queen, and a dude named Lothar, run up to Lordaeron and say, hey, yo, our shit got wrecked. We're Dunskies. So, the king of Lordaeron, Mr. Theranos Menethil II, decides to call a meeting of the Seven Kingdoms. Can I get Game of Thrones fans out there? That's definitely not stolen or anything, but whatever. What came first, the WoW or the Seven Kingdoms? So anyways, he summons together the Seven Kingdoms, comprised of King Greymane from Gilneas, King Pedernodal of Artarak, Lord Admiral Dalen Proudmoore of Kiltaros, Archmage Antonius of Dalaran, King Thoras Trollbane of Stormguard, of course, and then Lothar representing the destroyed kingdom of Stormwind. And together, after some compromise and some discussion, they form what is known as the Alliance of Lordaeron. This is the only alliance. Before then, there was no alliance. This is the alliance. At the time of all this happening, orcs have pretty much everybody else locked down. All the southern kingdoms, everything past the bottom half of the wetlands is all locked down. We're talking Cosmodan, locked down. Dwarves, out of the picture. Gnomes, they got their own shit going on, out of the picture. So, not even the elves are fully committed to the war at this point. So it's only the humans defending from the Horde, who are now encamped in the hinterlands. So, they start fighting. They start going at it. The first conflict of the Alliance and the Horde. And as they're getting around fighting, they start coming across... Nathan, where's the first place that they start making a ruckus? Outside of the hinterlands? That's right, RE Peak. And because they start fighting near RE Peak, they start getting the attention of the Wild Hammer Dwarves, who up until this time, this is how hardcore isolationist these bastards are, up until this time, know nothing of any conflict that's happening. The entire so-called First War went down and all of the southern part of the Eastern Kingdoms gets wrecked. And they don't know a single fucking thing until the orcs show up on their doorstep. And they're like, hey, get the fuck off my land. And since the Alliance is fighting their common enemy, they decide to throw in their lot with the humans that are the Alliance of Lordaeron. So what happens now?
So you're saying the dwarves attacked. Well, no, because they moved across the Wildhammer clan's territory, which prompted them to jump into the war because now they're being invaded by a hostile alien species.
So, yep. So right now, we have the Alliance of Lordaeron plus the Wildhammer dwarves, not Cosmodon. They don't come into play for much time later. So already, we have the destroyed Kingdom of Stormwind, which it has a very small representation in this alliance. And the dwarves that helped them in the first war are already locked down. So already from what we have of the current World of Warcraft alliance, isn't there. Isn't even around. So then, the orcs decide to get with the trolls, free Zul'jin, and say, hey, you help us out, we'll help you guys out. And what do the trolls want to do?
Kill elves.
They want to fucking kill elves. They don't give a shit about anything else. They want to go wreck Silvermoon. So, because Ogrim does not want to lose his new buddies, they decide to attack while still fighting the Alliance
And the Wildhammer dwarves.
and the Wildhammer dwarves. Go straight up to Quel'Thalas and start wrecking shit up there. And at that point, do the elves say, oh, wait a minute, the enemy's at our doorstep. Maybe we should help these fuckers out. That's when Quel'Thalas enters the fray. So, Wildhammer dwarves, Quel'Thalas, the Alliance. And the war continues on. We're going to fast forward. Shit happens there. Boom, boom, pow. Things going all over the place. Fighting all over the map, right? And eventually, the Lions push the Horde out of the Eastern Kingdoms, down back through the wetlands. And it is at this time when they're pushing the Horde all the way back to the to Blackrock Mountain, do they free the dwarves. So not even until the ass end of the war do the dwarves and a handful of gnomes join the whole fucking fight. Why does all this matter? What does it have to do with the current Horde? What does it have to do with the current alliance? What am I saying this is dead? Well, I'm trying to set the stage here, right? Because pretty much after this conflict is over, and we fast forward all the way to the end of the Second War, the beginning of the Third War, the elves have gone back to saying, fuck all, we got our own problems. Wildhammer dwarves? I'll get to them. Wildhammer dwarves are still a part of the alliance. Cosmodon is now part of the alliance. Elves are kind of iffy, not really so much. And directly after, during the course of the Second War, one of the kingdoms of the alliance, Alterac Valley, betrays the alliance. And so 1 out of 7 is gone. Goodbye. That kingdom gets disavowed by the rest of the alliance, put under martial law, and the citizens of Alterac Valley become the Syndicate. Which, if you have ever quested in Alterac Valley, you know these are the guys that you kill them, and you start getting rep pluses with, what's the fucking thief faction? House Ravenhold.
Yeah.
The Ravenhold. So they're already out of the alliance. That's one group down. Elves, they got their own thing going on. They're not doing shit. And the war was so taxing on everybody. They got all these refugee orcs. And they're all saying, alright, what the fuck do we do with these guys? So the king of Lordaeron proposes that they start setting up internment camps that start bleeding the alliance dry of all funds. And the alliance is tired, beat up, war weary. They don't want shit to do with this shit anymore. They came together because there was a threat. Now they're done. They don't want to be a part of this anymore. Some of them will just want to kill the orcs and be done with it. Other ones want to put them in internment camps. Other ones just want to go home. Foremost being Glenn Greymane. Glenn Greymane says, you know what? I got my own problems going on back home. And the minute whispers of a plague start coming about from the Northlands, what does Glenn Greymane do?
Build a wall.
He Donald Trumps that son of a bitch and builds a wall. Keep them all out. Not today, people. Fuck off. We're done. Goodbye. Officially out of the alliance. They're done. Isolationists as motherfuckers. Kulturas pretty much follows the same examples. Pulls all their ships back in, says, hey, there's a plague going on. There's some bad shit. Clamps it up tight. They're out of the alliance. So who's left standing? The remains of Stormwind have gone back home to go rebuild.
There's Lordaeron and I think maybe Stromgrad.
Yep. And one other.
What is it? Stromgrad. Alterac is gone.
Mm-hmm. Dalaran.
Oh yeah. I don't know. And I'm a mage. I should know this.
You should know this. You dirty fuck. So, the Alliance is in a rough spot. And anybody that knows the events that happened in Warcraft 3 knows that shit goes bad from there on out. Plague breaks out. Really, an undead winning? My god. This antler right now. Nothing sounds worse than this thing right now, buddy. Nothing sounds worse. Take it over there. Sorry, my dog wants to be a part of everything. Nathan, where was I?
You're talking about the events of Warcraft 3 kicked off. The plague heads down, and things start kind of unraveling for the remnants of the Alliance of Lordaeron.
Alright, so, Nathan, kick us off here.
Okay.
What starts happening?
The mages of the Kirin Tor start talking about the plague from Northrend is starting to make its way down. Not better. Is making its way down from Northrend into the Eastern Kingdoms, and there is reports of weird stuff happening.
What kind of reports of weird stuff happening?
Not really conclusive until later on, but like stuff like the dead are coming back, people are dying.
Bad shit starts happening, right?
Yeah.
God, Nathan, you're so fucking distracted right now. You can't even tell a story.
No, I'm just trying because everything is just so wonky on this computer. I'm just trying to get going.
You still can't open the thumb drive?
No, it's not that. I'm just now trying to get my character over there, but everything's out of date on like all the add-ons, and I can't even like do anything besides stare at a screen.
Sorry, Winston, but you're losing your antler privileges for now. Just go chew on something else.
So, that must be.
All right. So, the Scourge rears its ugly head, sent from the demons. And Arthas, crowned prince.
Arthas Minothril goes to Northrend to try to.
Too far ahead.
Okay. Goes and tries to fight the Horde, who are leaving for no like the orcs have left their internment camps and now are just leaving, but they're kind of also at the same time rampaging through the countryside, and no one knows why they're just leaving. And so Arthas goes to deal with the orcs as they're leaving, and while he is dealing with them, he comes across the first signs of the Scourge, and what's his name? Kel'Thuzad.
Well, end result, everything gets wrecked. Arthas becomes the Death Knight, comes back home, murders his fathers, raises Capital City, which is what Lordaeron's fucking capital city was called. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Capital City. Capital City. It's just Capital City. Like, oh, that's the capital. What else would you fucking call it besides capital?
No, it was. I think the city was like they just.
It was called Capital City.
Lordaeron But
Lordaeron was the area.
Yeah,
the
but
city
the city
itself,
was Lordaeron, the capital city.
the capital city.
But you mentioned Undercity. Is there any connection with those two?
The sewers. It's the sewers of capital city.
Oh, okay.
So the Forsaken are living in the sewers. They're
And again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But yes, Undercity. Lordaeron gets leveled. The plague is now rampaging all throughout what used to be Lordaeron, going all the way from the coastline, all the way to Strathome, covering all the way up to the borders of Quel'Thalas. There's a rampaging scourge. Quel'Thalas is destroyed by Arthas and the scourge. Sunwell is corrupted. Bad shit is happening all around. And all of the humans are dying. Left dead. Pushed to the brink of extinction. Only members being untouched by this unholy blight are the small, teeny tiny kingdom of Stormguard. Now, mystical ghost wizard, ninja exposition man, Medivh, giving visions and dreams all the way around, trying to warn everybody he can, tells people.
also back from the dead.
Also back from the dead. Mystical ghost ninja.
Get his head cut
exposition.
off and comes back.
He just, nothing holds that
Kind of a
man
big
down.
deal.
Yeah. He tells everybody, go west, young man. And nobody pays attention to him. They all die as a result. Only a small part of Kil'Taras, Stormguard, refugees left over from Lordaeron, decide to get on a big old pretty boat fleet with Jaina Proudmoore, everybody's favorite dreadlord, and go overseas. These are all that remain of once the mighty alliance. And those who are left behind get gathered up and taken under control by a fellow named Lord Garithos? Garithos. Lord Garithos. And he rebrands the surviving paltry members of the Alliance as the New Alliance, which now consists of the remnants of the armies of Lordaeron and the Alliance. Wildhammer Dwarves, Iron Forge, the now renamed Blood Elf, because they lost their source of power and running around trying to find a new way to be.
Oh yeah, and also losing 90% of their population to Arthas just rampaging through Quel'Thalas.
The very remnants. This is a very small force. This is a group of people that can barely hold back the tide of the undead. And Garithos, in case you don't know, was one of the Alliance's biggest, most racist dicks of all time. This dude alienates the dwarves, the blood elves,
Who are down to their last 1% of their population.
have to get help from a species unknown to them, the Naga. And this dude says these dudes are abominations, and you joined yourself with the enemy and sentenced the rest of the blood elves to death. He wants to execute all of them. So what do?
They joined up with Illidan.
They bounced. They got help from the Naga and escaped that prison and left. So here's this asshole. Lost portion of his new alliance. The most unmentioned, unbrought up, not talked about thing you can talk about. The new alliance. And what happens to Garithos?
He gets killed.
He gets killed. In kind of a fantastically amusing way.
Was it,
So he goes in, recaptures Dalaran. Not Dalaran. Yes. The ruins of Dalaran. He recaptures it. And then he decides, you know what, I'm going to take back Lordaeron. And at this point, Arthas has already kicked rocks up to Northrend. He's gone. And Sylvanas has now taken control of a large group of ex-Lordaeron citizens, now called the Forsaken. after long years of control and being forced to murder friends and family and commit crimes unbelievable to themselves, come back to control of their own bodies, filled with the memories of the horrible things that they've done. And they're lost. Everywhere they go, they can't go back. They try to go back to the Alliance, and the Alliance view them as monsters. So Garithos tries to kill them all. They try to go south to the new Stormwind. Monsters. Purge them. And they have no friends, no allies. So what do? They gather up, and they decide to follow Sylvanas Windrunner, who has one goal, one purpose, one reason to live. Revenge. Revenge against the Lich. Kel'Thuzad, who ruined her kingdom. Revenge against Arthas, self-proclaimed king, and the Lich King, who started us all. And they devote themselves to this one cause: revenge.
And also try to survive because everyone hates them and views them as the same, no different from the Scourge. Which they really are different from the Scourge.
And so, the Forsaken, now being attacked by Garithos and his merry troops of the new Alliance. And he strikes a deal with Sylvanas, saying, "Alright, I'll let you help me fight this Scourge. Let's do it." And what does she do? This is a very long campaign. I'm surprised you don't remember this.
It's been a while since I've done this campaign, so I'm trying to... did she kill him and bring him back?
Nope. She mind controls him. She sends a banshee in to take over his fucking mind. So he's not even in full action of himself anymore. Now commits himself fully to the Forsaken and their reconquering of their lands from the Scourge. And when they have accomplished their goal and taken back Lordaeron, he says, "Alright, get out of here, you filthy undead vermin. You filthy undead fucks." And gets killed by Valimotherus, the Dreadlord, thus crushing the new Alliance. Stormwind, Cosmodon, they're down south trying to secure their borders. They have no interest in what's going on in Lordaeron.
Stormwind just managed to basically rebound from being annihilated in the first war.
Cosmodon has their own problems. The Wildhammer get wrecked and sent limping back to Ari Peak. And for the longest time in the World of Warcraft, we're considered to be a neutral nation, not members of the Alliance, but rather, fuck all. We got our own thing going on. And who is the Alliance now?
There's no real alliance at this point.
There's no fucking alliance. The Seven Kingdoms are gone. Gilneas, Kolthalas, Quel'Thuras, motherfucking Kilturus.
Kelteris.
Yeah. They're off on their own. Fuck you guys. Lordaeron smashed. Poor Stormguard. Stormguard, their king, that small kingdom, heeds the call and sends his forces to go help Jaina. And when his forces are gone and across the ocean, gets attacked simultaneously by ogres and the Syndicate, crushing what's left of his kingdom. And before it's all over and said and done with, Thoris Thorbane gets murdered by his own son. And after his kingdom is wrecked and he is dead, the Scourge come through, pissing on the ashes of a once mighty kingdom, and leaves it ruined. So what is this alliance that we speak of today? Pretenders.
Well, it's a different alliance.
It's a completely different alliance. It has nothing to do with what is the alliance.
This was basically the alliance of Stormwind, not the alliance of Lordaeron. This was an alliance that originally started out of convenience, out of desperation, kind of like how the first alliance got started, but of totally different players.
We have the Wildhammer dwarves are not part of this
No.
new alliance.
We
have
got
the Kingdom of Stormwind.
Stormwind, which then after Stormwind, Ironforged dwarves.
Mm-hmm. The dwarves of Cosmodon.
The dwarves, the dwarves of Cosmodon.
The gnomes of Nomergon.
And for some strange reason, the Night Elves.
And the fucking Night Elves. Whatever. Blizzard wanted to just put them in there somewhere, so they decided to say, all right.
We need elves.
Hey, everybody likes elves. Alliance.
They were going after the Lord of the Rings.
They wanted the most wonder-bred little organization they could put together. And they created what was a common term, what people have accepted, because most people have not played Warcraft 1, which is a nightmare to play. I tried playing it. Didn't get very far.
I don't really like the fact that you can only control up to 4 people at a time.
Nathan played that game.
I got to a point where I couldn't go any further. It's not because I didn't want to, it's just the game wouldn't let me. It just crashed.
It's an old game. So, anybody that's actually played really just remembers Warcraft 2. And remembers, the Alliance. Right?
Yeah.
And then Warcraft 3. More people have played that. The Alliance. If you wanted to call Warcraft... If I was going to call Warcraft 3 anything, besides... Reign of... What the fuck was it called?
Reign of Chaos.
Reign of Chaos. I would call it the destruction of the Alliance. Because that's all you do during the entire campaign. You just watch the Alliance get crushed. Kingdom after kingdom falling. Remnants and survivors fleeing across the oceans. Going to Stormwind. Going to Kulturas. Going to join the fight of what's going on in Kalimdor. 90%, most of the survivors are dead anyways. Because those survivors went across the ocean to Kalimdor and founded
Theramore.
Theramore. And what happened to Theramore?
Garrosh nuked it.
Garrosh nuked the fuck out of it. Lordaeron belongs to the Forsaken. The Forsaken are the only people that have any right to this kingdom.
Well, no. I would say the Scarlet Crusade and the Argent Dawn.
But I haven't even talked about them yet. Jeez!
You said the only...
Discharge.
You said the only...
You just ejaculated all over the place.
But you said the
I
only...
even did that first.
Yeah, you didn't even hold my
No,
hand.
but no, you're
You
worded...
didn't even buy me dinner. Now I got jizz all over me in the form of these fucks. I was getting there. But now I guess I have to talk about these guys. Nathan, who the fuck are these guys? Mr. I want to jump the gun? Mr. I want to be all up in this shit? Now you hold that thought. So, the Forsaken are the only real survivors, if you want to call them that, of the Third War of Lordaeron. These are people who were alive in that time, in that place, in that location, holding on to their own kingdom, taking back their own lands from the remnants of the Scourge. And here we have this new expansion, and we see the boy prince, the boy king Manduin saying, we're going to take back for the Alliance
Lordaeron.
From its native sons.
Which the alliance, the current alliance, the alliance of Stormwind, which isn't the alliance of Lordaeron, has no claim to Lordaeron.
None whatsoever. Now, there are a few people that could have a claim to this kingdom, but have nothing to do with it.
I only can think of one person off the top of my head who's in the current alliance who possibly has a claim. One person, and his claim is pretty weak, for the sheer fact that all he is just some random, well, not some random, but he's just a nobleman from Lordaeron, and that's Tyrillian. He's just some random noble from Lordaeron. He's not an heir to the throne. He's just a nobleman.
Now, we do have a few people who have claims to certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gilneans, they have a right to their land. So taking back Gilneas makes sense.
Yeah.
There is one person, if you want to call him that, who has a claim to the now destroyed, ruined city of Stormguard. And that's the Trollbane that decided to go through the Dark Portal. You'd probably talked to him a bunch of times if you played Alliance. Didn't even know who you're talking to. This guy is the cousin of the king of the now ruined city of Stormguard. And he is sitting opposite Thralmar in Honor Hold.
Just chilling.
Being a quest giver.
Yep.
Last remaining bloodline of the Stormguard kings.
And apparently he has nothing better to do than give a level 60 a job.
Mm-hmm. Go fetch this. I need the poop taken out. Get out of here.
I'm not sure what quest he can give.
I don't know. I don't play.
I've only think I've done Honor Hold once.
So Undercity is the developed underneath last intact infrastructure of Lordaeron that got developed up by the Forsaken into a working city out of a sewer. There we have the Undercity now.
Yeah.
Which still belongs to the Alliance of Lordaeron. Because who are the major players of the Forsaken? Lordaeron? Stormguard? Even mages of Dalaran are part of the Forsaken. The Blood Elves join the Horde. And they were in the Alliance.
Yeah?
And they're in the Horde. Forsaken, in the Horde. Now, there are some other people that I do need to mention. And that, during the Second War, there was an order founded from the Church of the Light. A fellow named Artemis Fowl?
I believe.
The undead dude that you see in the priest order hall.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
He has his own unique lines.
Yep, he says a few things. He is the guy who comes up with the brain dead child to have paladins.
I would say that a little louder, just to make sure.
To make paladins. And handpicks 5 members. Different, some couple knights, some priests, some veterans, to go train in the light and in martial prowess. And they become the Order of the Silverhead. You might have heard these guys. During the Second War, there was only 5 of them, and all of them, well, most of them, are notable people. Let me go name off these people. Nathan, who's the first one that comes to mind?
Uther the Lightbringer.
Uther the motherfucking Lightbringer. What happens to him?
Arthas killed him.
Arthas kills him.
Over Urn.
Alright, who's the second guy?
Tyrillian.
Tyrillian? That name sounds familiar. Who's Tyrallion? Oh, wait! Mr. Glowy Armor Pants. Exposition Nathani. That goes out and, helps us out during this whole Argus campaign. The guy who disappeared. The guy that they keep whispering about until this latest expansion. Oh, wait. Not that guy.
That guy.
One of the first 5 fucking paladins.
Yeah.
Who else?
Was
little dude with a magic glowy sword.
Little dude with the magic.
Tyrion.
Tyrion. Yes, I'm just trying to think of his name.
Tyrion Fordred.
Yeah. What's this?
Member of the Silver Hand. Kind of a big deal. The other 2 we have Galvin Rod, the Dyer, who was also killed by Arthas. Sorry, too bad, so sad. And the last, Sadran, Doth Rohan, who, in case that name sounds familiar, started a little organization called Scarlet Crusade. To make it out alive of the Second War, the Third War. Only people that are still around are good old Mr. Tyrion and Cedric.
Well,
Tyrion was kicked out of the Order of the Silver Hand for being rescued by orcs. So he was excommunicated from the Order.
and also had his. He, for some, I don't know, because it's kind of weird because he also lost his powers for a while.
Whatever the reason, he was kicked out of the Order for a while.
Yeah.
Wandered around the wasteland. Wandered around the Plague Lands, really. Lived in a little shack, lived by himself out in the middle of nowhere. Till he comes back and forms the Argent Dawn. Kind of a big deal. Sadran, he decides that nobody is doing anything about this whole Scourge thing. The new alliance has been crushed. Stormwind, Cosmodon, they ain't doing shit. And he decides to start a crusade to murder every single Scourge, Forsaken, Undead,
Horde-loving.
anybody that he come across. And he is, for some reason, as a founding member of the Silver Hand, you would think this guy being more open. No. This dude's racist as fuck.
Anything that's not human is dead.
Anything that's not human is corrupted, wrong, and dead. Scarlet Crusade is a bunch of fucking madmen. Tyrion's own son was a member of the Scarlet Crusade. And they were too extreme for him. He decides to try to leave this Scarlet Crusade. Guess what they do to him?
They kill him.
They fucking kill him. Fordrin's son. So he decides to create the Argent Dawn. And the Argent Dawn is not like the Scarlet Crusade at all. They want to fight the Scourge, yes. But they do not exclude anybody. Even the Forsaken joins their rank. And these two groups control all of the Plague Lands. So two neutral factions controlling a very large portion of Plague Lands. And the remains of Lordaeron firmly under the hand of the Forsaken. And who are they taking it back from? Who is the Alliance going in and taking it from? No one. They are walking in as foreign conquerors of people who never belonged to step foot from where they're going. The Alliance? Give me a fucking break. This is just convenient name branding so people can recognize what they played in Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. Which after playing Warcraft 3, I don't know why anybody would want to be a part of the Alliance. It was just a shit show from start to finish.
Yeah, no, it's just as I said, like especially it was in Frozen Throne, as an expansion, where it was the new alliance, as you're saying.
The new alliance.
Where the controlled by God, what's his name again?
His name is something stupid. It was Lord Garithos.
Garithos basically started using the Blood Elves, who are even worse shaped than the humans, because Arthas did such a hard number on them. They lost 90% of their population. There's only like 10% of the high elf population is left. And he's like, no, you are now cannon fodder. The last 10% are, you are now cannon fodder. That's what you are.
He's even using the dwarves as demolition teams. He's not using them for combat. The dwarves are even beneath this fucker. He's sending the elves on suicide missions, and
when they don't have the numbers to do stuff.
And dwarves are getting a little better than they are.
And so, and this is the last hurrah. This guy who was the biggest racist asshole. Well,
yeah.
not the biggest. There's probably worse out there.
I don't know. He's pretty far.
He's pretty up there. Is the last hurrah for the alliance of Lordaeron.
He he is declared. He takes up the commander of the alliance, renames it the New Alliance. There is no other alliance. There is just Stormwind and Cosmodon, and they're down south doing their own thing.
No, but as I said, this guy was the last part of the Alliance of Lordaeron.
That's it. No more.
And if he didn't die, he pretty much sealed its fate by being such a racist. He alienated.
By being a racist.
Well,
The worst kind.
The worst kind of racist.
he alienated the other races of Azeroth. I mean, at this point, their enemy was the Scourge, and instead of trying to actually focus on I'm sure if there were any orcs still left in the Eastern Kingdoms, well, there are, but if they were still around, he'll still view them as enemies, even though they should have been considered allies to fight back the Scourge.
Not even a group of holy zealots. If you go to the Argentine in Vanilla, they have outposts right there on the edge of. It's the border of the Plague Land. And inside that even little outpost, humans, orcs, undead. I think there's a night elf there too. I think I saw a dwarf there. All inclusive. They don't give a shit. If you're there to stop the Scourge, they'll take you. And they still use the Holy Light. Even the undead are functioning as holy priests and paladins in the Argentine.
No, but I'm just saying, the Alliance of Lordaeron ended on a
very bad note.
Very, very bad note.
Very bad note. That even the paladin order that was started in the Alliance of Lordaeron,
we're like, no.
The surviving 2 members decided to say, y'all are fucked. We're going to go do our own way. They're not, beside the Scarlet Crusade, they're not trying to kill all the undead. Here's fucking Stormwind. Those survivors had nothing to do with the Third War. They were trying to rebuild their own city, and they're like, oh, kill the undead. If anybody has beef with Lordaeron, it should be the Forsaken against their own themselves.
It should be considered a civil war.
Mm-hmm. That's it. So, yeah. Basically, what the biggest thing I want to show you guys is the fact that the Alliance has no claim whatsoever to the Eastern Kingdoms, the northern part. What would you call that? Lordaeron. Fuck it. They have no claim to Lordaeron. They have no claim to the lands they're trying to take back, from which was never theirs. Man, if you think I'm being harsh to the Alliance, tune in next week. Don't worry, Horde. It's your turn next.
Well, there's still stuff to be said. I mean, there are some
we're not done. We're not done here. But for you guys who might be feeling a little butthurt that I'm talking all these really bad things about the Alliance, don't worry. The Horde's coming. That'll be next week.
Yeah, that's next week. I mean,
Nathan, what would you like to add?
I would say there, besides the factions we've mentioned that actually have claim to Lordaeron, there's some individuals, and I just want to point out these individuals. There's probably 3 individuals that can come to mind that actually have claim to Lordaeron. One of which is pretty, I think, significant. I said earlier, Tyrellian is a nobleman from Lordaeron. Mm-hmm. His claim to anything is kind of weak. Maybe some land.
How do you have claim over a dead kingdom? How can anybody rule when you have no subjects? Your subjects are zombies. This is the part that blows my mind about the whole reclaiming Lordaeron. There is no one to reclaim. You're not going to take these corpses. You're not taking the corpses that are already living there, trying to be living their lives. It's not their fault they're undead. They didn't choose that life. What, you want to blame them for continuing to exist? Go fuck yourself, man. But what are they going to do? They're going to have to take people from other places and subjugate them underneath a new ruler. You're not taking back shit beside an empty corpse field land that's never going to be habitable. I don't know if you've played the latest shit with the Forsaken, but they've been wrecking shit all over the place.
Then there is what's his name? That priest, the undead priest that's in the priest order hall.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
I'm fucking up his name. I'm fucking up his name bad. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go show you this guy. Because this guy is a really, really major player in the history of the war of the Alliance, and he's kind of just a footnote. He is a grand footnote on everything, and it's really kind of weird.
Well, I think the Priest Order Hall is a good place for our next, because the next person I'm going to talk about, who I think is pretty significant for what I'm talking about, is standing right next to him.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to go
Oh yeah, we will.
to the Netherlight Crucible. Well, no, wait.
No, it's Netherguard Keep. Or?
No. Something, stupid, something. Priest Order Hall.
Yeah. As soon as.
Alright, I'm here. So here we are. There he is. That's the man. Alon? Babe, help me out here. You're good at
Alanis
Sounds-
Fowl?
Alone. Babe.
I know, I'm looking
Oh,
at it.
so. Alona's.
Alonzo's foul.
Alonzo's foul.
Yeah.
This guy.
This
This guy created the Paladin Order.
He was the head of the Church of Light during the first two wars.
Yeah. Archbishop Benedictus doesn't have shit on this dude, alright? He was the original head of the Church of Light. Head. Creator of the Paladin Order Hall. He gets killed.
Don't know how, don't know when, he just dies sometime during the Third War.
Comes back.
Don't know when either.
Breaks free.
Don't know when either.
Don't know when.
He's kind of drops off the face of history for until Legion.
Yeah, up until Legion. Disappears. Taking a light along with him. Who the
Kalia
fuck is this?
Menethril
Kalia Menethril. Sister.
of Arthas Menethril, the
Daughter.
last of was it Ternus Menethril?
Mm-hmm.
The last living line of the Menethril family, the monarchy of Lordaeron. She is the crown prince. No, she should be the queen of Lordaeron, but she hasn't claimed anything. I don't think really she even cares to claim anything.
Well, I mean, after being tried to be after they tried to marry her off to Deathwing, I guess she's kind of scorned.
That was,
That'll do it.
Yeah.
but that was before the.
That's a
Third
different
War.
story.
Yeah.
But yes, here she is. Sister of Arthas, the last of the royal bloodline of Lordaeron.
She has the best claim to Lordaeron.
And all she wants to do is
Be a priest.
Be a priest. Alongside this dude. And so much shit just blows my mind.
Netherlight Temple.
Netherlight Temple, yeah. So much shit blows my mind when it comes to there's a bunch of I have gripes, people. I got gripes about some of the story decisions. So Turalian was a priest before he became a paladin, and he was the student of this dude right here. And instead of going and talking to any of his old buddies, he doesn't really spend a whole lot of time with Khadgar. He doesn't go and talk with the Trollbane. He doesn't even talk to his old master.
Or doesn't even go talk to who should be his like the lord of his kingdom, Kalia, because she should be the queen. She should be the monarch of Lordaeron.
Doesn't even do any of that. Just says, "Oh wait, this is the Alliance. That sounds familiar. I remember the Alliance. I remember the Alliance. Yeah, let's do this." These two guys don't even align themselves. Neither one of these people are in the Alliance. They are out doing their own thing for the sake.
They're trying to
of
save
Azeroth.
Azeroth. Yes. I don't know.
Blows my mind.
Don't know their stories.
Such an arbitrary decision.
What their stories?
I'm gone for 10,000 years. My best friend's a literal fucking demon. Alliance.
For some strange reason, he can't accept the Horde, even though he's a friend with a light forged demon.
Yep. Come on. All right,
Which,
cool.
if a demon become all holy, it should mean the Horde definitely has a chance of being good people. I mean, and
Now-
it's not
now
it's not
don't-
just any demon. It's a Dreadlord.
Yeah.
If you
he's a
look into
fucking
their lore,
Dreadlord.
the Dreadlords are the worst.
It blows my mind. Blows my fucking mind. But that's not what we're talking about here.
No, I'm just saying, if you can accept a Dreadlord as a friend, who, as I said, the Dreadlords are pretty nasty.
Whatever, man. Mind blowing. It's I don't get it, man. I don't understand it. Logically, but I mean, I don't know about logically, but fucking from a narrative perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense. If anybody should be able to see past the blurred lines of who is right, who is wrong, who is the enemy here, it should have been this dude here. Not this dude here, but fucking it should have been Terrellian. If anybody should have been able to see it,
yeah.
But he doesn't.
No.
He just jumps right in there. Oh, Alliance, we're friends now. Ha
Especially like when Velen, who's probably suffered at the hands so hardly at the hands of orcs. He's forgiven the orcs.
Mm-hmm. He said, "Cool, man, we're gonna go fight the Legion."
He got his people nearly got wiped out by the orcs, and he's forgiven the horde.
Right, he was in here. Where did he go? Where is Velen? Velen used to be in here.
He's in the Vindicar.
Oh yeah, he's in the Vindicar now. That's right, the Vindicar. Going to the Vindicar, going straight on through. Excuse me when I sneeze. Going to the Vindicar. So, what do you guys think? I'm gonna be posting this video up on here, YouTube, here shortly after done recording. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that what is now the Alliance has any claim to Lordaeron whatsoever? Do you think they're right in taking it back from the native sons of that country? Do the undead have no right to live? Should they just be wiped off the planet? I don't know, man. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No. And the people who I do think have the most claim, besides maybe the Scarlet Crusade, which they're a bunch of crazy...
A bunch of fucking crazies.
Yeah. They're the only ones who probably, like...
Argent Dawn has a way better claim.
Yeah, they don't care. That actually... I think they carved out their chunk and they're good at what they have.
Okay, and that brings me to another point, man, which also blows my mind. So when you're looking at the maps, right, from what they presented at the Battle of Azeroth, and you see that the Alliance borders go all the way up to the Ghostlands, all of that is Argent Dawn territory. A neutral faction. Argent Dawn owns all that.
So what did they do? Did they kick out
Argent Crusade.
Did they kick them out?
So yeah, did they say, fuck it, we're just going to claim you guys? Why would the Argent Dawn even allow that to happen? That has never been the Argent Dawn's speed. It's never been the Argent Dawn's crusade.
I don't know.
But you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to go ahead.
Did they, as I said, did they just kick out?
Here we got Captain Lightsaber. His wife he can't touch. Mr. Prophet Velen.
Who,
and
as I said, has forgiven the horde.
You know what? Terrellian can't touch his wife. I bet you I know why it's not a problem. You want to know why? It's a convenience job. That's his boo. That's his main squeed right there. His biffo. His comforter. When times are tough. When things are dark, he seeks comfort in the refuge of his wings.
Next on Jerry Springer.
Oh man, you don't know how much I facepalmed on that one.
But yeah, that's his best.
True.
That's his best friend right there. A light forged Dreadlord. Is Terrellian's best friend. And he has no problem with making a ex-demon a friend, but he can't he can't get past this whole horde thing.
No.
Yeah.
As I said, Velen, who's suffered probably the most at the horde, has forgiven him. But no, not Tyrellian. No, no, he can't. After 10,000 years of fighting the Legion, the people who basically made the horde do what they do and have the
having secret romances with his Dreadlord
and created this scourge that wiped out his homeland.
Making drain babies in the shower.
He got Tyrillian, I think, got his vengeance for the
with
destruction
Lothraxion, High Commander,
Okay.
and the right hand of his exarch. Passion projects. Thrumming in the night. Deep study sessions.
Okay. No, but as I was saying, Tyrillian got his vengeance for the destruction of his homeland by destroying the creators of the Scourge. Destroying the people who turned the Horde into violent, mass murdering, genocidal horde. He got his vengeance. I mean, but no, he can't let it go, though.
He's just mad because he can't have Lothraxian love children. Next week.
Next week, the Horde.
Now, anything else you'd like to put out before I go to our neutral audience? Click, click, click on the keyboard over there. Nichole. Anything?
Nope.
Okay. You, wife.
Yes.
You, as somebody who are not as hardcore nerds as Nathan and I,
True.
do you have any questions, comments, concerns?
I listened to everything you had to say. At this moment, I do not have any questions.
Lore
or
questions?
concerns.
Any questions that just... So we said something that sounded utter gibberish that you need clarified.
She wasn't listening.
I
All right.
actually was listening, and the few times I did ask a question... See, I have to ask the question during the conversation. I can't, like, go back and relive it.
Alright.
All right. Okay, so that's going to be a wrap for today. Hit us up next week where we will point our scrutiny at the Horde. Because I'm telling you right now, Thrall needs a new PR guy. He needed one from the fucking get-go. But we'll talk more about that next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good one.
For the horse.